Hello guys, welcome to my channel. That is not how my intro goes. Holy crap. Welcome to my channel if you're new here. If you've been here before, I am so sorry. There you go. Today's video is going to be a story time because I have no other ideas. Story times are pretty easy to film, so that's what I'm doing. So let's get started. This story time happened 2 years ago when I was a little 16-year-old girl. I was a sophomore. How do I start? I'm obsessed. I wanna count the freckles on your neck. That's not how that song goes. The first sip always gets stuck right here. I'm 18. I graduated high school already. Don't know how I did it, but I did it. And yeah, I don't know how to start this. Let's give a little background, shall we? Every sophomore had to take biology. I was a little nerd, so I took honors biology. And for honors biology, there were two teachers that I know of. One of them was a teacher that was more focused on textbooks and reading and taking notes, and it was kind of boring but very efficient. I think I didn't fail any tests in her class, know what I'm saying? And then there was the other teacher who was more chill, more hands-on, did a lot of labs. So while the teacher over here was taking notes, this other teacher over here was having his students dissect cow eyes. I don't know what they did, but whatever. For the first semester, I was with the textbook teacher. She was great. I don't know. I got switched teachers. And I was a little nervous because, I don't know, but hands-on experiments and labs aren't my thing. I don't even like science, so I was kind of nervous. But anyways, I walk into class one day, and the teacher would always write on the board what we were gonna do that day. I read the board and it said ice bucket challenge. Or something like that. No, not ice bucket challenge. Ice bucket lab. Ice bucket lab. Needless to say, I was a little freaked out. I was like, that does not sound good. That does not sound like something I want to be doing right now. So he sits us all down and he's like, listen, this is what you guys are gonna do. You guys are gonna grab a bucket, fill it with water, fill it with ice, fill it with water, and you're gonna put your hand in there for 5 minutes. I was like, there's no way. And he wasn't joking. He was dead serious about this. So I grabbed my two friends, right? Because we're all in this together. Okay, that was really bad singing. I'm sorry. I grabbed my two friends, right? We grab a bucket. We fill it to the top with ice because that's what we had to do. And then we filled it with water. And that was that. My friend goes first. And she sticks her hand in there. You have to stick your arm, your hand up to this part, your forearm, is that what it's called? I don't know body parts. Stick it in there for 5 minutes and take it out. You're welcome. She sticks her arm in there and leaves it there for 5 minutes, and yeah, that was pretty much it. She wasn't complaining too much about it. It wasn't terrible. I know we all did it at the same time and all of the kids seemed pretty okay with it, so I was like, okay, it can't be that bad, right? Right? So then it's my turn, and let's just say stuff went down. I put my arm in there, and at first it felt really cold, obviously, and it felt very painful. It felt really painful to have my arm in there the first few minutes, first 2 minutes. It was really painful. Eventually my arm kind of got numb, sort of. Really weird kind of numb because I could feel the cold, but at the same time I couldn't. I was able to last a whole 5 minutes. I took out my arm, and that ish hurted. That hurt so bad. You know when you go outside in the cold, in the winter time, and for a long time, and then you come back inside and your arm just kind of does whatever this is, and it's a weird sharp pain. That's how it felt on my entire arm, and my arm was really red. It was no big deal because everybody went through this, so I was like, it'll just go away in a few minutes, right? Well, a few minutes go by and I noticed my pain wasn't going away. Like my friend, she did it and her pain went away pretty fast. Mine was still there. It got stronger and stronger by the minute. I was freaking out. Like my arm was super red. It was hurting so bad, hurting more than I think it should have hurt, and it just wasn't going away. Things start to get even more weird. Was looking down like at my arm, right? I was like this, and then I looked up and I started seeing dots everywhere. I started seeing dots everywhere. These little dots like on people's faces and like everywhere. My vision starts like going away. Like I have no vision. My vision is gone. And I was terrified. Like, what does that even mean? Why am I losing my sight all of a sudden? I start getting really dizzy, and it starts getting to the point where like I can't even keep my eyes open because it just felt really weird. So I closed my eyes, right? And I was just like, oh, I feel so bad right now. I started hanging onto the table and I was like, I don't feel good. They bring me a chair, I sit down, and then it gets worse. I start gagging. But see, here's the thing. That day, I only had breakfast at like 7 in the morning, and that class wasn't until like 2. So I didn't have lunch that day. So like, I had nothing to throw up. Like, I only had a granola bar that I had for breakfast that day. That's it. And I'm sitting there like, oh. Oh, the graphics. There's a freaking fly. But I mean, I was just gagging everywhere and like trying to throw up, and the sight must have been awful. And the kids in my class are just standing there doing their labs like, what's wrong with her? And they called the teacher over because obviously like something's wrong. They call him over. He's standing like right in front of me sort of, and he's like, I was like this, I was just like this, like kind of rocking back and forth. I was like, oh my god. And he's like, okay, take deep breaths. Did you eat anything today? I was like, I had a granola bar or something. And he's like, okay, well, this is a normal reaction because this simulates a workout. Your body starts burning calories. You haven't had anything in your system, so you're burning off calories that you don't even have. I don't know, science. It's basically what? Basically, can I stop saying basically for once in my life? It was like I had just worked out on an empty stomach, me. And so that's why I was lightheaded, that's why I was losing my vision, that's why I was gagging. It was terrible. He tells me, you're gonna start sweating in a bit. Just letting you know, you're gonna start sweating. And then he's like, someone bring her water. And like my friend ran to the back of the class, brought me a water. He's like, you need to drink this, like just take little sips. So he said I was gonna start sweating, and I did. I started sweating like my forehead and like my nose, like you know how you sweat. And then he puts his hand, like the back of his hand, on my forehead, and I'm over here like this literally, and I'm like, ew, Mr. Science, you're touching my sweat, you're disgusting. I was literally like dying. Okay, not literally, but like I was over here almost passing out, and I was trying to be funny and say like, ew, you're nasty, you're touching my sweat. Who does that? Only I would do such a thing, you know, like, ugh. And he just kind of like laughed it off. He's like, yeah, like you're gonna start sweating, whatever, it's fine. You're gonna be fine. And I was like, okay, fine. I didn't die, but it became a joke. And even that was my sophomore year. Junior year, I had him as well, and he wrote on the board as a prank to the class and to me that we were gonna do that lab again. But I didn't go to school that day, so whatever. But yeah, I almost passed out. It was crazy. And then he goes on to tell me that in his 10 years doing this lab, I was the second student to ever have an issue like that. So I guess that means I'm special or whatever. I don't know. Really scary because I didn't know what was going on. I felt so weird. When you like just stand there and your vision just starts going away, it's like, what? It's a weird feeling, but I had it coming. Moral of the story is you gotta eat something and don't trust crazy science teachers, because yikes, you're gonna faint like I did. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Click the thumbs up if you like the story time, and if you didn't, I'm sorry. I just don't have any better stories than that, I guess. And subscribe if you want to see more on my channel, and I'll see you guys whenever I feel like uploading a video. Bye!